result.
With me now, Republican Senator George LeMieux of Florida, a state, of course, that swung from red to blue for the president in 2008, and there's a hot election this year. Senator, thanks for joining us. Were you applauding when the president was reciting his tax cut list?
Well, I'm not sure I applauded at that point, but I did applaud at other points.
What did you like about what he had to say? Let's start with the positives.
Well, I'm happy to do that. I liked what the president had to say about exports, trying to double our exports. I like what he had to say about free trade, getting these agreements done with Colombia, with Panama and South Korea. I like what he had to say about energy. We need to have more nuclear energy in this country and drilling where it makes sense. So I thought those were the good points.
Yeah, you also said that you thought he missed a golden opportunity to give the American people real solutions. What were you looking for that you didn't hear?
Well, I think we've got to do something about jobs and not just give it lip service. In my home state of Florida, we have nearly 12% unemployment. That is not sustainable. I have a proposal to cut the payroll taxes. They're 6% now. Let's cut them to 3%. That's a 3% increase for every worker in America and more money for business to invest in jobs and other equipment and new ideas.
Yeah, I mean,
think that would be a better
the president obviously
solution.
certainly agrees with you on jobs, and one of the reasons he's gone to Florida today is to talk about creating jobs with this high-speed rail line. Are you happy about that?
I'm optimistic. I can't tell you that I'm happy because I don't know all the details of the money. This project is estimated to cost $2.5 billion. I understand that the president's going to come today with an award of $1.2 billion. Now, if there's going to be money to complete the project, I'm very happy, and I'll be the first person to applaud the president. But it can't be a train to nowhere. It needs to be a train that connects Orlando and Tampa for us to have the economic impact. So I'm hopeful he'll explain that today, and we'll get enough funding to do the full project.
Jobs and the economy were certainly the recurring themes last night, but he also multiple times challenged Republicans to be more bipartisan. I want to play a little clip of the State of the Union last night, Senator.
And if the Republican leadership is going to insist that 60 votes in the Senate are required to do any business at all in this town, a supermajority, then the responsibility to govern is now yours as well. Just saying no to everything may be good short-term politics, but it's not leadership.
Well, the latest NBC poll, Senator, shows that 93% of Americans are sick of bipartisan infighting, and frankly, they blame Congress more than they blame the president. Is there a real political risk here in not getting something done?
Of course there is. We need to get something done. Republicans were trying to get something done on health care last year. We weren't allowed into the room. We had a step-by-step approach. I myself offered amendments on health care, and they were not entertained. They had 60 votes, and they didn't need us. The president's change in mood reflects the Massachusetts miracle. So I hope the president is serious about it. We will work with him in a bipartisan way. As long as he's open-minded, willing to hear some different ideas, we can do some things for the American people.
We're watching right now. The president has just come off of Air Force One. He has landed there in Florida and is on his way to Tampa. One of the other things he talked about in the spirit of bipartisanship was getting together on a regular basis with Democrats and Republicans. What would be your key message to him right now, especially given what you heard last night, Senator?
Well, I'm new to Washington. I've just been here since September, and I can tell you that this place doesn't work in any way that the American people would be happy with. I believe that if both sides came together, we could get 80% done of what everybody wants if they'd be willing to leave their 20% on the side. That's the attitude the president needs. If Congress will have that attitude, we'll be problem solvers and do good things for the nation.
Let me go to local politics as it pertains to Florida, if I can, for just a minute. There is a Quinnipiac poll for the upcoming Republican primary for the U.S. Senate seat, and it shows for the first time that Marco Rubio, the hard-right candidate, a favorite of the Tea Party movement, is actually leading Governor Charlie Crist 47% to 44%. What are your thoughts on this race?
Well, there are different polls. It's a very tight race. Some show the governor up, some show the speaker up. I think that it's always good to have a discussion within a party as to where you want to go. But I'm a fan of Governor Crist, and I think ultimately at the end of the day, the people of Florida like him. He's struggling with a tough economy. He's trying to bring jobs to Florida, and I think they will stand behind him when they have the vote this fall.
All right, Senator, it's good of you to talk to us. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And I just want to remind people once again, as they watch the president, as he is going to head over to his motorcade and then head to his speech, he's going to be arriving on schedule, it looks like. He's going to be in about 45 minutes. We'll be hearing from him about some ways that he plans to stimulate the economy, including this high-speed rail line. So we're keeping our eye on Florida for you there. Now,